Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Extra Yard. I am your host, Michael Christian. I'm joined, as always, by some troublemakers, Kai Chen Chisholm and Juan Cardona. Juan, Kai, how you guys doing, man?
Chilling, B. Living.
Kai,
Hey!
there it is.
You see my names. You know how we feeling.
Enough said.
I mean, look, we'll get to him eventually. Y'all are wild. And we're going to talk a lot about the NFL draft tonight. We're going to give some players that we think the Dolphins can't miss on, as well as go over some of the pro days and the results that happen at those pro days. But before we get into any of that, big changes happening this upcoming NFL season. The NFL season has been expanded to be 17 games as opposed to the traditional 16. Initial thoughts from that, Kai, we'll start with you.
Well, this is the fourth time now that I'm talking about this. Talked about it yesterday on my show. Had the roundtable today about it.
Yep.
Talked about a video today about it. And now again. Listen,
we care so much about your opinion. We want to hear you 6 times.
You know what? Hold up. You know what? You can do yours concise because I want to revert people to your opinion to your video here on 5 Reasons Sports.
Exactly. It did absolute dog shit too, so it's okay, you know. Anyhow, waste of my time in editing. Oh my god. But look, 17 game season. I think the best way to put it down is that the players who are, to be completely honest, just crying and whining about this situation are the same ones that signed and agreed to the CBA and decided to sign their rights off to the devil essentially in the NFL. So like sucks.
Roger Goodell.
Like it sucks to suck, but guess what? Like you did that to yourself. Yeah. That doesn't just happen. You did that to yourself, and look, now you got to live with the consequences.
I will say, I mean, I understand where they're coming from. I agree with you that they signed off on this, so they can't say, "Oh, you can't actually go and enforce this now." But like, it's just more risk with injuries. I don't know if the quality is still going to be there. I mean, it is an extra week of football, so as a fan, I'm excited. Juan, what did you think?
I thought it was caca. Like, just straight up, bro. And the only reason I say that is because if we're really being honest, you guys knocked down the 4th preseason game, which nobody cares about. Add in an extra regular season game. And like, honestly, if it would have been up to me, or, you know, if it had been something where it's like a decision, it's like, bro, go 18 games, put 2 weeks, 2 bye weeks, and all of a sudden you get so much better football. You can play with the schedules a lot more. You literally can align yourself to where now you're gaining extra money and extra revenue. But instead, it's like a cheap little, well, we're going to try 17 games the year after COVID with maybe not even having training camp. Like, it's so many variables.
Well, they're having it. No, they're having it.
I saw. Yeah, they said to fully expect to normalcy, like nothing.
Oh yeah, they want packed stadiums already.
Well, not even that. Like, it was announced today, the all-season programs are full go, so that's going to happen. They're not going to have to be virtual, so that's full go. The thing with the 17th game is, and I think what some people are forgetting is that it was either 2021 or 2022. Like in the CBA, it was either within 2 years or 1 year. Regardless, no matter what you do, it's coming. Like, it's agreed upon. So if it didn't happen now, it was happening next year, and there was literally no coming back from it. And honestly, like, I know you say like, I said Kyle Pitts. I know you say Juan like that. It's coming after like the COVID year, but it is, and it's important for the NFL as a business. It's important for the players because look, that 250 salary cap that's projected in 2025, that doesn't happen unless the 17th game is added to all of that money for those deals. Yeah, the TV deals are going to be expensive, but that extra game is a lot. Pushing things back is a lot. The potential to probably add more wild card games to what we already have is a lot. I don't agree with that. I think that the number 1 seed should stay to being the only people that get bye weeks, but all of it is contingent on each other. And like the issue is, again, it's like, it's just the players that are complaining are the same ones that agreed to it when they saw what the NFLPA, who obviously run a very horrible operation on their own, threw at them, which was you get the ability to smoke weed and you get paid. This one, the getting paid, isn't really the one that's there because they're still getting screwed.
I think the biggest issue is that very few players are getting through 16 games. and then you're gonna add an extra game to that. And my thing is not so more adding the game. Cool, add another game too. For me, it's at 18. That's where it's gonna ultimately end up. But give me 2 bye weeks, bro. Like you do 2 bye weeks. You give teams a chance to rest up. You give teams a chance to kind of just build their team however they want. And then you get to plan around it too, especially with 2 buys. Just because think about it, like how many times last year, especially with all the COVID stuff, like, yo, are we gonna play this game? Is it gonna have to be a Tuesday night? Is it gonna have to be a Thursday night? Is it gonna have to be a Wednesday night? Like you give yourself some leeway to where like, okay, things might not 100% go right the first year or two, but you give yourself that leeway.
Yeah, and I think go ahead.
Just to quickly add, with the current situation and why it might ruin a little bit of your dreams of 18 game add 2 bye weeks, is that one thing that they could do, that being the NFL, that would, 1, produce more revenue for themselves, and 2, just be great for the game and the people watching it in general, and also boost more money into the economy if you really want to get that deep into it. Right now, that game, the Super Bowl, will fall on Valentine's Day weekend, which is stupid. Adding an extra bye right now with 17 games pushes that to President's Day, which means that every single Monday coming off of the Super Bowl will be a holiday off for everybody, meaning there's going to be a boatload of money that gets pushed into everything. Absolutely everything, because you're going to have more people buying alcohol, buying any drinks that they could possibly have, food, stuff like that, and going overboard because the next day they're not going to work.
How does that work with cutting off a week of preseason? Is it still going to be 4 weeks of training camp, or?
I haven't seen anything about that, like training camp specifically, but as it currently stands, the Super Bowl will fall on Valentine's Day weekend. So that's how everything is currently on. And to answer Finn's dog question here, an 18th game is not included in this CBA. Tom Pelissaro actually reported more in depth about it in the exact article of the CBA that it's in, so I want to be able to get that up for anyone just to answer the question specifically here if I can find it. I'll have to try to look for it, but pretty much they won't be able to do anything with the CBA, they being the NFL, until 2031, in March of 2031 when it expires, due to Article 31A. The league and or club shall not increase the number of regular season games per club to 18 or more games until the CBA runs out on March 2031.
Well, then, that was a lot of information we gave you guys on the 17th game. Quick recap for me. I mean, more football, sure, but if the quality drops, and I think it will for a lot of teams, because I think a lot more teams are going to be looking at, I think a lot of teams are going to look at resting their players at that time, especially because none of these guys are used to this. High school seasons are maybe 11 games, 10 to 11 games?
11, yeah.
Right, depending on how far you make
14.
it. College football is anywhere between 13, 14, and then professional goes to 16, then add on playoffs. Now you're expanding that to 17 as well. I think it's just a little bit risky. I prefer not to do it, especially at a time when all of the head stuff is coming out and everybody's looking deeper and deeper into CTE. Adding another game is going to make more and more people think, is the NFL really worth it? But what were you going to say, Juan?
And you're actually right about the quality, the quality going down, just because think about it. The last 4 or 5 years, if I remember, has been a change to where the last 2 weeks are all division opponents. You're playing the Bills, the Jets, the Patriots. But now this year, week 16 is when we end with a division game, and then week 17 we're playing the Giants.
Official.
Yeah, it's not official. They haven't actually come out with the schedule yet. You just have that's the 17th. That's the 17th game that got added. Yeah. They're still probably going to want to end it on the divisions, because that way they've got something interesting to put on TV from a playoff perspective.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you guys remember last season, what was that game? It was the NFC
Dolphins,
East.
Bills.
No, but even outside of Dolphins, like the really interesting games were
slacking.
NFC East, because everybody else was pretty much locked in. That's what I'm saying. You're getting another week.
Well,
of
last
that.
season was also like an anomaly when it comes to like there were, especially in the AFC, there were a lot of good teams in the AFC, and as much as people and especially fans want to crap on the Dolphins now, especially for the season, like they went 10-6 in a COVID season with their rookie quarterback coming off of one of the most horrific injuries you can have at that position. Like that's an accomplishment on its own. But another thing I want to add to kind of counterpoint you with that, Juan, and I guess you as well, Michael, is that we also used to be in a 14-game season, and then it got into the 15, got into 16. Now we're going to 17. Inevitably, it will hit 18. what in 10 years from now when the new CBA is signed and we're looking at like a 300 million or 350 million dollar cap, like cap space, caps, whatever it is, like it will end up being 18 games. It's going to happen. I mean, that was one of the sticking points that they wanted so badly to have and get up there. So who knows?
Sure. And I'm going to agree with Finstock here. I wonder how we all feel when week 17 rolls around. It's true. We can all feel completely different. I don't know exactly what we're all going to think, but we'll have to see. I'm just not totally convinced on week 17 just yet. What is Anthony asking? Kai, with a whole bunch of teams late in the first round being in salary cap hell, can you see the Dolphins being aggressive and trading up with one of those teams and drafting Trevon Morik? I don't know who that is. I'm not going to lie.
He's a safety from TCU. He's good.
Is my mic better now when I ask? Just
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, you're good.
Cool. I think like it's we'll get to like some of the salary cap stuff later on as well. I think like we'll try to touch on it a little bit, Anthony. But like with this, like just to round off, I guess the 17th game season, because I feel like maybe we have been on it a little longer than we probably thought we would be. Like, I think that the best way to put it is what it is, and the players signed a really bad deal that even they had to have known was a bad deal when they signed it. And it,
they paid. Oh, sorry, my bad. No, they paid Drew Brees $1 million for him to represent them during the last CBA. This is
my point. The NFLPA sucks. And like a lot of people will go up there and they'll be talking like, I think this is one of the things, and I know that today there's been a lot of outrage about Pat McAfee's interview with Dan Orlovsky. But one of the things that Pat McAfee has laid out for a lot of people that I like a lot is he has been breaking down kind of how these things work, and all of these players like going to him and his show rather than like the media and everything else like that, even though he's still media. And when all the CBA stuff was happening, him along with like AJ Hawk and these other players that have gone through this, some of these, I guess they call, like the old heads that go through that stuff and they've gone through the CBA, were noting that the NFLPA sucks, that they are awful, that the only time that they really see them is here's your Madden check, goodbye, and that they don't do anything. And hey, like it is what, like that's what it is. Yeah. And that's going to be the players that need to step up and have people represent them who are going to represent. Like these players that are coming out, and I'm not against the players and their cause. Like I think that they did get screwed over, and I think it sucks. But if you're going to go out there and you're going to complain about what's happening, the same way that people said you need to go out there and vote to figure things out, if you're complaining about what's happening in like the United States, you need to go out there and do your part as well and make sure that you can represent your players association the way that they can. And if you're not willing to do that, then you got to live with whoever you're hiring.
It just comes down to politics in the locker room, bro. Because I'll tell you, the players that we're talking about, the Drew Breeses, these are all top end guys, right? These are guys that will be like, yeah, well, you know what, we're gonna strike and we're gonna go on hold and we're not gonna play. But the problem is that 90% of the league is the lower end guys, the bottom of the roster guys, the 50 man roster type of players. So those are the guys where they're like, bro, I'm check to check. B, like I'm like, if I don't play, I don't eat. Like, and those are the guys where it's like they get taken advantage because it's like, bro, well, you got to play this year. You can't afford to go on strike. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, the NFLPA is not about. I mean, these things are not about those players oftentimes, and it's sad to say that.
Doesn't care. Like that's what's one of the main issues is they just don't care.
Yeah, I mean, this was a lot longer than we expected to be on the 17-game schedule. I do think it is a lot to digest, and I'll be really interested to see. I mean, hey, it's one more week of coverage for us. It's one more Dolphins game, and I'm not going to turn down another Dolphins game. I love watching the Fins play. It's just a matter of, is it really what's best? Is the quality going to stay the same? Maybe this one extra game is what gets the Dolphins in the playoffs or not, or maybe the Dolphins end up 10-7, and then, that's even worse than they were last year. They don't make the playoffs at 10-7. Like, hey, I don't know. These things can happen. But we want to transition.
Anymore. It's either 8-9 or 9-8, 10-7.
You could go 8-1.
You can't be exactly mediocre. But hey, look at that Finstock is provocative. It gets the people going. I love that quote. So
Daniel, hold it. We're gonna get to that, bro.
Yeah, we're going to talk a lot about these prospects, but we have to talk about the number one prospect that's on everyone's mind. So we had a lot of pro days. There's a pro day specifically from yesterday. I believe it was yesterday that we want to talk about. No, hold on. Man. That's not it. Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
Miami of Ohio had their pro day tackle Tommy Doyle. I know, Kai, that's your
What is this man talking about, dude?
No, we
What
had
is
we had a
this
lot of
man
SEC
talking
pro
about?
days in the last week. So in
Yeah.
the last week, specifically, Brian Flores has been very busy. So Brian
Mhm.
Flores went up to Alabama for that pro day. I think he came back down for the University of Miami pro day. I know that's not the SEC, but still he was there for it. And then he went to Florida
There's some
for that
interesting
pro day.
names at the University of Miami
There were.
too, by the way.
And then Florida as well. You have the oh my goodness.
Kai, that looks like a Ray Finkster kicker's
Ray
helmet,
Finkster?
bro.
Who's Ray Finkster?
That's his name.
Ray
Finkler. No.
Finkel.
Oh, so you see? Listen, I was born in 94, bro. I try my best. I got the first 3 letters.
You've
born in
never
98.
seen Ace Ventura Pet Detective starring Dan Marino.
Mike, we have gone into
No,
this
no, no.
on your show. Dono has gone into it. Was it before the year 2000?
Kai, have you seen
Don't
Ace Ventura
ask me
Pet
it,
Detective?
then.
No.
Don't ask me
Listen,
that.
this is what I want to defend Juan. I've seen it, but I want to defend because Juan has said this multiple times. And he detailed when me and him filled in for Ethan, he said, if it's before the year 2000, I won't
ain't me,
watch
B.
it. That's what he
Just
said.
because you're consistent on this terrible take doesn't make it a good take. As a Dolphins
It makes
fan,
it a take.
as a Dolphins fan, you have to watch Ace Ventura Pet Detective.
He doesn't have to do anything, Mike.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
gosh.
Thank
guys are
you.
horrible.
Thank you, Kai.
Listen,
It's a
this
free
is why,
world.
Listen, this is why I feel like we need a fourth person for this show to kind
To
of help
balance
even
you
this
out.
out. Because y'all
Sorry,
are
I definitely
killing
derailed
me.
that. I saw the helmet.
Y'all are killing me.
Sorry.
Yeah, listen,
Yo,
Daniel.
for sure.
listen, go watch Ace Ventura.
But we're talking about the Red Bull, though, right?
Listen, Dan Marino's acting in that movie almost made him quit football and go into Hollywood. It was that good.
Shut up.
Okay.
Shut up.
All right. Pro days. We got pro days. Today, I think it was today, was Florida and LSU, correct? Both of them were today.
Yeah.
Brian
He had
Flores
freaks out
was at-
there.
Can we talk about the Bama one yesterday really quick? Like what
Okay, let's talk about the Bama one.
What
What do you mean? What happened?
Kai
Oh,
Kai
do we
comes
wanna
to
talk
complete
about
trash and Mac
Mac
Jones.
Jones. You want to talk about Mac Jones overthrowing and then Bill Belichick being like,
Mhm.
I'll tell you exactly what I want to talk about. Are you ready?
Go ahead.
You talk about the
Pro
kicker.
days don't mean anything.
No, Kai.
No.
No, we need pro days. Al Davis. This is how he found all his height, weight, speed guys. What are you doing? If you're not in underwear, I don't want to see you, bro. Don't. No, Kai. I know. No, absolutely
Listen.
not.
Hear me out, all right? I don't care what Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance can do throwing against air.
Time out. Time out.
I agree
at
to a certain
all.
extent.
Yeah,
Kai, but,
hold on.
But Zach Wilson, that throw was very impressive.
Also, when they're losing against air, a la Mac Jones, it matters.
Right, but I stand in the crowd, which is why I'm not going to go off of my look. Listen, when you're a part of a take, you got to ride your take out full. I stand in the crowd that all these throws that Trevor Lawrence was making before he got his shoulder surgery against air, where everyone was like, "Oh my god, this is crazy! Wow." I'm not going to go on to that side of the board the same way that I'm not going to dish on Mac Jones, though he does suck. I'm not going to go on Mac Jones because he threw bad against air.
I just think,
Because
look,
as someone pointed out to Juan and a couple through the 5 Reasons Fins Twitter, not that I'm writing this, but like last year during workouts, Tua also missed against air and a lot of them badly. Like, and Tua is one of the most accurate.
Yo, Kai, calm down, chill out. I'll show you my. You can't do that. Walks on water. You can't do that.
hold on a second. Hold on. Yo, is that the statue? We got to get that statue going. Hold on.
That is the
Y'all-
mask that started it
Y'all
all.
Y'all are wilding and y'all are always, I feel like everybody takes on this show is always to an extreme.
No,
whatever it is, we have to write it full out.
That's how you have to do it. What do you mean?
I'm being serious.
Like,
I understand.
That's how you live life.
Like today, I put out my polls. Like, I do my polls every morning for my show, and like that's why I specified. Like, I think for like quarterbacks, look, I think it hit Mac Jones bad. I think it did, but it's also the same stuff that like anyone with a brain in their skull would have said is that listen, Mac Jones is nothing special. It is what it is. Like, he's never been anything special. He's not going to be anything special. I have no idea how Marsh has this idea that he's going to be the second best quarterback in this class.
Marsh thinks that about Mac Jones?
Yes.
Yo,
I don't understand the.
I'm deceased.
I'm gonna say
think for position
I'm
players,
not
I
as
think it
low
matters, but
as probably everybody is on Mac Jones. I do feel like if he gets into a Kyle Shanahan system where he's gonna have weapons like Debo, like Ayuk, like Greg Kittle, and then he's gonna have a running game behind him with whatever running back you can pick up off the street. I don't think for me Mac Jones is gonna be that bad as far as
I
like
don't think
I
he's
don't
gonna be
think-
that bad, but I don't think he's gonna be like this. Like everyone's propelling him up as like some. It's the same thing as the backup quarterback effect, where they're propelling them up to be something that they aren't.
Mhm.
And like
But
that's
he-
what
I
happens
mean-
every time we get around.
Look,
the
with
season.
Mac Jones, I'll
Now-
say this, and Mac Jones doesn't matter as Dolphins fans because there's no shot in hell. And I swear, if we bring in Mac
Oh,
Jones,
nah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
It's not
drive
gonna
down there
happen.
and.
Don't even. You
But
don't
like,
even need to.
but
You
like,
don't even
look
need
with
to.
Mac Jones, his ceiling, which I'm not even sure he's gonna reach it. To me, his ceiling would be Ryan Tannehill. You get him in a situation with a great running game and
I
a
mean,
fantastic
Michael-
offensive line. Timeout, but that's a ceiling.
Michael-
That doesn't mean you're
I-
gonna reach a ceiling.
That's a hell of a ceiling, though. I mean,
Okay, what's Trevor Lawrence's ceiling though? If you had to comp him right now,
Andrew Luck.
Well, yeah,
that's
And
what I'm saying. Is
Well,
if
Trevor
Mac
Lawrence's
Jones at his
floor is
very
like
best,
Andrew Luck.
yeah,
I don't
Mac
like
Jones
comps,
at
but-
his best will be what Ryan Tannehill is now because the situation is absolutely perfect. You make the situation not perfect. The running back's not as good. The offensive line's not as good. Maybe some of the wide receivers are bad. He won't be anywhere near that. That's all I'm saying about Mac Jones.
Dude,
I don't
Tua
think he's
made
going to
Jerry
be
Jeudy a
absolute
first round pick.
garbage, but
and by the way, Mike, I gotta dispute your point that Mac Jones doesn't matter to Dolphins fans because if Mac Jones gets drafted by the 49ers, we need to know he's either going to be complete trash
if
for our
Mac
draft
Jones
pick.
gets drafted by the 49ers, I'm booking it right now. The Dolphins are going to have another pick in the top 5 next season if Mac Jones is the one that they decide to go with the starting
Do we
quarterback.
know
100%.
officially if we traded our first round pick next year or the 49ers?
No,
traded
we kept
ours?
we kept the 49ers pick for 2022.
Oh, did that? Oh, yes, baby.
Yeah,
Listen,
we traded the Dolphins pick.
they decide to start a rookie quarterback. I'm all in on that pick being top 5 again. And then we'll trade that pick for more first round picks because that is what Chris Greer
Chris
does.
Sims seems to really believe, not that Chris Sims matters at all because he doesn't. He's riding off of his father's legacy, but he seems to really believe, and it's because he very knowingly is
The
best friends with Kyle
only
Shanahan
the only thing I'll trust about Chris Sims is
that the
quarterbacks.
49ers will draft him. I
Is
don't trust Chris
quarterbacks.
Sims for anything because
You on your own time, Kai, you look up his last 5 years of quarterback rankings. He's been the only one who every year he's a contrarian.
Was really bad. Like
He
when you
had
look
he
at
had
from
he
when
had
he
Herbert
started
1.
to
He
what
had Burrow 1, Herbert 2, 2 or 3.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about his quarterbacks in general. He did like a list of the top quarterbers last year.
Oh no. I'm talking about draft picks. Yeah, that one was wild. He
This
had
season
Cam
We
Newton
haven't-
top 10.
stupid.
He had
we
Cam Newton 10.
We haven't
Yeah,
talked
it was-
about a single prospect that the Dolphins might actually draft.
We're going to get.
There's
I'm
only
just
one we're
pro
gonna
days.
draft,
We're talking about
Michael.
pro
It's
days.
on my
No,
name.
stop it.
Look
Stop
at him
it.
there.
No,
He's
let's
the
get
only
into
one
it. I
coming.
wanna do it
That's
now.
it.
I wanna
That's
do it now.
I don't know
This
why
is
you
the
want to take
one.
the beating now. Like you're
This is
like
the one right
Yeah.
here.
No.
You
it's
know
the
how long
only
it took
one,
me to do
Michael.
this? By the way, you know how long it took me to do that? Oh
You
my
better
God.
appreciate that, Mike.
It took me like an hour. And a
I
half
better
to do this.
appreciate that. I'm not the one who's
Appreciate
begging for
that, bro.
Kyle Pitts like all you thirsty.
Bro, do you
What's
see my
crazy
title?
is
Read
you're, like, the
read it out
only
loud.
person.
Read it
Uh-huh.
out loud.
Kyle's
my type.
pits are greater than your mama.
Yeah.
So his armpits.
There's no apostrophe, bro. Come on.
Kyle's pits
Wow,
greater than
man.
your mama.
Bro,
You typoed with the
alright.
S.
All right, bro. I'm gonna shoot myself out of here. I'm just gonna put Juan Cardona.
You just
You
got
try-
bullied out of your name.
Yeah, bro. You try to be nice with people. You try to have fun with guys.
I don't think so.
Me?
Nah, it's
Listen,
whatever,
This
bro.
one,
It's whatever, Mike.
just to answer some questions from the comments, keep our engagement. I don't think so. I don't think that Garoppolo will go to New England. I doubt it. The hell? Who's Jay? Oh my God.
I'm offended.
Anyways, Juan C.
You know I can change your name, right?
I bet you could.
The thing that I think is something that we should keep on look. Like I think for positional groups it matters a little bit. Like I loved seeing Najee
Kyle's
set,
pitch.
saying that he wants to, he wants to show people that he can.
Najee.
out. I know.
G.
I know. I said
G.
Najee. I said that.
No, I'm just making fun of him. He was really adamant
okay.
about it. He was really hurt.
really
He was
adamant
hurt.
about it.
Yeah.
Like he's just like, nah, like even
He
when
was
you go
like,
to the
if
league, it's gonna be some
Najee-
old people. It's gonna be some old people doing it. He literally said, I was like, oh, bro, my
He
God.
got lit up.
Yeah.
For me, I always read it Najee because it's literally
Common sense.
Najee Harris.
Yeah, it's common sense.
It's because it
Yeah.
also has an apostrophe, and as a member of the apostrophe name community,
Is there a gang?
understand.
Is there a gang of
Yeah.
apostrophe? That's
Listen,
dope.
I'm Kai Chen, so I'm not Kai.
So look, just so we could get a little serious though, like I feel like with pro days and whatever, I'm not even gonna fix it. So the only thing with pro days for me, it's like it's not that they matter, right? But it's part of the evaluation. It's part of the process. It's part of like what you kind of have to look at, because yeah, there's some numbers like with Jamar Chase, for example, at LSU, right? He had a 4.38 40, which he probably had a little home cooking, right? But then you see his short shuttle, and his short shuttle was underneath 4 seconds, and you're like, yo, that's elite. And you look at that, and you're like, wow. And then you see Kyle Pitts at Florida, and you see he has the biggest wingspan in tight end history. And you start to put that together with a 4.45 and a 4.46 KO.
I'm fine with that. Listen, praise be to KO now in Houston.
Facts. I don't know, man. I think all these guys like that. They earned themselves some good cheddar this Thursday.
I will not say that pro days don't matter. I will never go that far. What I will say about pro days in the combine are that if you're making your decision based on something that happens there, there's a problem.
Jamarcus Russell.
Happens every year. The fastest player has some more height.
Jackson isn't horrible, but
yeah, he was all right.
He got propelled because of his speed.
I just think it's a way for you to solidify what you've been looking at.
That's another one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Or to prove people wrong. Hey, I didn't think Jamar Chase ran a 4.38 at all. I was concerned he might have been 5'11, but
was it considered an official 4.38? Because I remember it was an unofficial 4.38.
It was unofficial, and then he just didn't. I don't think he ran a second one after that.
It's what we're saying.
4.4 technically, right?
He ran a 4.4 and then a 4.45, I think. Yeah,
he ran a 4.44 and a 4.46.
Right. So Florida's our official, but LSU is not official.
Well, actually,
I'm asking
Mike, I'll say this, and I read it, and they did research on it.
I know this is why, because the research, I saw that too.
Out of the last 21 prospects who've gone from Florida to the draft, they've gone to the combine, they tested, and they've gone back home and they've ran and tested. Only like 3 of them have actually improved on their numbers. So there's really not home cooking at Florida, if you want to be technical about it.
Sure.
Our coaches have also sucked for so long. There is no home cooking. That's another reason why I think pro days don't matter. Everyone's talking about Marco Wilson and his freaking vert. Marco Wilson sucks. I don't understand. People are literally sitting there like, oh my God, Marco Wilson's vertical. And it's like, okay, turn on the film and watch Marco Wilson play last year, and you're going to shoot yourself in the head.
That's the thing. People go crazy with the height, weight, speed, and it's like, no, it's like a balancing act. It's height, weight, speed, measurements. Hold on. And then you also have play and actual film work. The eye in the sky don't lie, bro.
There are times, for example, if you look at somebody like Jimmy Graham. Jimmy Graham only played 1 season of college football.
Yeah.
Right. He played basketball, transitioned to football. He had a pretty decent combine, I would say. Right? He had some pretty decent numbers at his pro day or the combine, whatever it was. That helped propel him. A player like that, it matters. When you've got 3 years of tape on a player, and over the course of those 3 years, they did nothing. Just because they can jump 3 inches higher than everyone else at the position doesn't mean you should draft them. But these things I do think are important. For a guy like Gregory Rousseau, it matters. Yeah. For a guy like Jamar Chase, it matters because Jamar Chase was not there.
There's another
Jalen Phillips. Jalen Phillips, it matters.
Like
when you have a smaller playing size or people haven't seen you in a while, maybe you got hurt, whatever it is. I think it's useful. I agree you can't make your final decision based off of that. But when you have nothing else.
How do you guys feel about specifically the fact that Chase and Pitts both went out there not needing to actually do any of that, and they still went and did it, but Waddle and Najee and
but nobody at Alabama did, right?
None of them at Alabama ran or tested or anything.
That's one where I'm saying for me personally, I don't care.
I could care less about that one. Yeah.
That's one where I don't care because you have years of tape on these guys. If anyone, I would say maybe Jalen Waddle could use it because he got hurt there at the end. But
I don't even understand what Jamar did, to be honest. I get it, but I
can't lie. For me, I can't lie. I look at that and I'm like, all right, well, you're just trying to show out, bro. I like that. That to me kind of gets me hype. That,
Yeah.
to me, that's like, all right, well, you're
like,
you're okay, but you're a competitor.
not that he's won,
bro.
but yeah,
you're a competitor, and you've put it on the field. You've gone out here and you performed at literally at every stage.
Yep.
So for me, I look at that and I'm like, well, damn, you really didn't have to go show out. You decided to take that risk. And you balled out. So to me, that's also not necessarily that's a knock to the other people, but I do think it's a boost to the
but
guys.
Especially for a guy that had just sat out. And as much as we want to say that it doesn't matter, that absolutely matters to a lot of these front office people. When people sat out this past season, I understand they could. I respect their decisions, honestly.
But
for a season. But the front offices care because then they see it as, okay, maybe you don't care to compete as much. Maybe you're a little bit too worried about the next step, the next contract, the next thing. And I'm not saying that's right, but I'm saying that's something that's taken into account. So with a guy like Jamar Chase, who just sat out, and what would you have guessed he would have run in a 40, Juan? Maybe like a 4.51, 4.52?
No. I thought he was going to do like a 4.49. Yeah, I thought he was going to be low 4.4 guy.
Okay, so I'm not that far out though in 4.51 to 4.49.
No.
But like he goes
the five will lose you a couple spots.
Sure,
in the draft,
but he goes 4.38. If we're talking real, maybe he had done that exact performance at the
4,
combine.
4,
You're
1,
maybe looking
4,
at a 4.41, 4.42, right?
Yeah.
If you know you can do that, that's why you go out there and do the pro day. But maybe Devonta Smith, maybe Devonta Smith, who is expected to be super fast, was like, man, I'm gonna come in at like a 4.41. Let me not do this. Right? Maybe that's part of it. Again, to me, that doesn't make a difference. It's a 40-yard dash without pads and stuff. But that's what it is. It's chess. The entire draft process is chess. And with no combine, the pro days,
I think it
rust to the front.
Well, there's something happening in Indy next week with 150 prospects. It's not a combine, but it was reported earlier. I want to make sure I find the actual tweet here. But it was reported earlier that it's going to be first to third round picks. Like expected first or third round picks are going to be invited out. I think it might be a medical thing. I'll let Juan. I know Juan had something to say.
It'll probably also be more of an interview thing as well, because I mean the combine is really a lot for the interviews that they have with the players.
I don't think it would be for that, because I was actually listening to Kyle Pitts today. He was saying that he already had 2 Zoom calls with Atlanta, and he had a third one scheduled for I think tomorrow. He said. So I think these guys.
But did they take off the cap? Because there's a cap on the amount of like out of town visits you can have and stuff. Did they remove the cap?
Yeah, they took all that because they're not letting players come into the facility.
Okay, so everything's Zoom calls.
All of it's Zoom calls right now. So that's that kind of like you were saying why, and I get it for Chase now that you mentioned it like that. He did have to kind of come out because you can only learn so much through Zoom and watching 2019 tape. So it's tough. So I guess I do kind of see it now.
I just think it helped a lot of these players that didn't play. Sorry, go ahead, Kai.
I was gonna say that I'm so glad that I catch things in and I kind of remember just what it actually says. Roughly 150 NFL draft prospects will be in Indianapolis next weekend for an in-person medical evaluation. So only in-person medical evaluations. It's expected to include all projected round 1 through 3 prospects plus others flagged during virtual visits.
That makes a lot of sense because you've got players like Waddle and Smith who did get hurt there at the end, and if they can't come into the facility, you want to get some of your doc's eyes on them. So
Smith said his finger was still purple running routes for Mac Jones. So it's definitely something that they have to kind of go through, and for sure, I mean, even with like players like Jamar Chase, you don't know what kind of like if he picked up a bad habit and maybe he started running with a gait or something. Like you just don't know what could happen in all the time in between. So it's definitely interesting.
It'll be really interesting to see. Like, look, this is going to be an interesting draft. A lot of these prospects they either haven't seen for a while because they sat out the year, or they played and you're just not sure. And some might be vaulted more than others. The value is kind of all over the place right now. Drafts look like they're going to go all quarterbacks at the beginning, and so with the Dolphins at 6. Yeah, that's what everybody's projecting. I think it'll happen as well. I'm not 100% sure it will, but if that does happen, the Dolphins are in a fantastic spot.
I would be cautious. I know you mentioned the Kyle Pitts with the Falcons. The Falcons do like their tight ends, and the Falcons are.
I'm not worried about it.
I don't think so. And the only reason why is they literally just traded for. They just traded for Hayden Hurst. They literally have Ridley. They have they have enough weapons. I just think if what I'm seeing and what I'm reading is they would try to go Fields because there's obviously like the little connection there. But if not, that they're looking more so for the defensive side of the ball, and they would try to maybe trade back with a team who wants to get a quarterback. That's why for me, I think the first 4 picks are kind of locked in with QBs. The order is kind of more so what's interested to me, because I feel like the first 2 are kind of are done. For me, it's Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson. 3 is kind of like a wild card. I mean, I really kind of thought it was Mac Jones, just because you don't really necessarily trade up for a project like a Trey Lance or even a Justin Fields.
Because Chris Sims had mentioned to Dan Patrick that he's not reporting anything, but he is very publicly known to be really good friends with Kyle Shanahan, and he said that they had been talking. And in terms of a football point of view, he said that he's not going to say anything, but he feels like if they're moving up to 3, the quarterback that Kyle would want most for his team would be Mac Jones.
Yeah, and it's because his best year as a coordinator was with Matt Ryan, and that's the most Matt Ryan lookalike kind of player. Yeah.
Interesting that it's such we're just going to say one of the most unathletic looking quarterback draft prospects since like Tom Brady.
Hey, look, Tom Brady's rookie card sold for $2.3 million. And let me tell you, I look a lot better than Tom Brady did coming out of college.
A lot of people look a lot better than Tom Brady did coming out of college. Like I'm curious to see I'm curious to see what happens with Mac Jones. I kind of hope that it's Mac Jones, because although I think Mac Jones has a higher floor than a Trey Lance or a Justin Fields, I don't think his ceiling is anywhere near as high as those other 2.
Garoppolo for most of the season. They'll do what we did. They'll start Garoppolo in the second.
Yeah, that's what they'll do.
And then their bye week will get switched around because the Broncos catch COVID, and then Mac Jones will get started early.
29% vaccinated here in the U.S. at least first shot. So
hey.
maybe they'll puncture Jimmy G's lung by accident. You never know.
Yeah, did they call up the Chargers docs? We don't know. So hey, it'll be interesting to watch what happens. We all think that it's going to be 4 quarterbacks right off the bat, but we actually did some mock drafts ourselves. We each did a mock draft through, I think we all did PFN, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. These are all of them. So I'm sure
it have us as well. It won't let me have us as well. This sucks.
Anyways. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. So what are we looking at? Okay, who's on the left? Oh, just kidding. It says the name at the bottom. Rolex D. So I can't read.
I'm sorry, guys.
I want to see all of us had the same exact pick at 18.
And the smart people had the same pick at 6.
Yeah, Jalen Waddle. Is that what you're talking about?
No, the same people. The smart people, I said.
Yeah.
Look,
also, did you guys notice that we all have a C to end our name? Like my last name is Chisholm, Juan's is Cardona, and yours is Christian.
Yo, no shot. That's crazy.
That's why.
That's wild.
So hold on, wait. Kai, you actually traded up into 32.
I did.
So you spent there to get Jalen Phillips, and I got him at 36.
you guys both went high with Phillips. That's interesting. I think the concussion thing kind of scares me, because I was reading he retired from UCLA. Is that right?
Yeah. So okay, I wouldn't say so much it was that he retired from UCLA. He was just so hurt, and UCLA wasn't doing it right, wasn't handling it right, and so they decided he was like, okay, I'm gonna have to figure something out. But he didn't retire completely, because then he eventually came back and went to Miami. Like he transferred to Miami. He wanted a fresh start. He felt like UCLA wasn't going to give it to him.
Got it.
Miami did give him a better chance, and Miami's pretty good at producing defensive ends. So, guys, Myles Gaskin was a 7th-round selection. Harris at 18. I respectfully disagree.
And he led the Dolphins in rushing with 580 yards.
Listen,
I thank you for reminding me why we need to actually spend some capital on a running back.
We didn't get a running back in free agency. I think we need a running back badly.
We got Malcolm Brown.
Oh, yeah, Malcolm Brown's the answer. I want to see what else we have, though, that's interesting. That's the same. So both of you drafted Elijah Moore with your 4th pick.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Juan, you traded down for it.
So my idea with the way I kind of built the Dolphins here is you get a mismatch at number 6. You solidified the running game at 18. So at this point, your 12 personnel is looking solid with both Gesicki, Pitts, Najee, the DVP, Fuller. And then if you really want to get funky, then you can throw Elijah Moore out there, who just killed it in the combines and has the most, literally the most laziest one-handed catchers I've ever seen. Like he makes it look like he's like doing nothing, like he's catching a bread, like a loaf of bread. And I just love the idea of actually starting to set up an offense around Tua, and also to kind of clear out the wide receiver room. We got too much riffraff. We started re-signing players and bringing guys back, and I think it's time to really get some competition in there.
Albert Wilson, Don Hearn's replacement there.
I absolutely would be down for that for sure. Even 19.
Kai, is there any player that you got on your draft that you are very proud of, or that you're kind of, hey, this is the one that I'm like, I felt like I got a steal on him?
Well, I drafted a punter, and
and a quarterback.
Sheesh. I honestly had no idea who to draft at 258, and I just drafted Felipe Franks for fun. I gotta be honest with you there. Even the punter, I thought 231 was my last pick, so I drafted a punter. I absolutely will be honest, do not know anything about Drew Chrisman, nothing at all, absolutely nothing. I was just going off of what Tony Pauline had mentioned about him, and I was like, yeah, might as well draft a punter, can sit behind Michael Pilardi, or not sit behind, but like challenge each other and stuff like that. I like competition, especially for the brand, except for at the kicker position, dude is elite. So that's why I went with that. I mean, there's nothing. I like Osa Odigizua a lot. I tend to draft him a lot. I like Chaz Surratt. My one thing is that I really went into trying to trade back into the first round badly. It wasn't going to be for Jalen Phillips. I can't remember who exactly it was at the time, but I wanted to trade back up. I was trying to get to 26, could not get to 26 at all. And then I traded up to 32, and Jalen Phillips was there. And I was like, listen, I'm here. There's not really anyone else that I'm looking at that I desperately would draft at 32. So I went with Jalen Phillips. The concussions, I do get concerned. Tell me the truth is hard to get through with everything, but man, I think you can take a chance with a 32, and you go from there. Like I wasn't feeling too bad with it, since I was like, well, I already traded up here. There's no point now in going back.
Yeah, I think for me, the guys I was really excited about, I was able to snag Quinn Miners out of Wisconsin Whitewater. He was at the Senior Bowl, kind of stole the show with the pictures that came out of him and his personality. I watched him play. I don't think he performed as well at the Senior Bowl as a Creed Humphrey, for example, but Creed Humphrey went higher than 36, whereas Quinn Miners was sitting there at 82. I think they even had him lower rated. I think Quinn Miners was an absolute steal for me, and also Demetric Felton. So Demetric Felton is listed as a wide receiver. He also plays running back position as well. He's kind of a dual threat kind of guy. You can use him in a lot of different areas. That's something that the Dolphins seem to like to do. They like to have that versatility. Maybe that was something that's going to go away now that the offensive coordinator is gone. And I forgot his name, but it's fine. He's so old, it doesn't matter. So now that he's gone, maybe they don't care. Chan Gailey. Maybe they don't care about the versatility as much. But considering they have so much of it at the considering we have so much of it at the wide receiver position, I just think Demetric Felton makes a lot of sense. And I'm going to try to fix this so you guys talk about something.
See, how did you go with yours? Like, for everything else besides like Elijah Moore, you get Dylan Moses. I like Dylan Moses a lot. I feel like I tend to even myself, like going to these drafts, either go with Paris Ford or Divine Diablo, whoever's available. Like, kind of how was some of your other thoughts there besides, obviously.
See,
also Juan cheated.
How did I cheat?
Quiddy Pay is not going to be there 36, dog.
Hey, listen,
I also tried to go off
cards,
of stuff as well.
The cards fell, and I just took advantage of what the opportunity was given to me.
Fell, right? You rigged it.
That's all I could do. And let's say they take Quiddy Pay earlier, then I got Jalen Phillips, just like y'all boys do. But no, I just the only thing I gotta say with your draft, Mike, it's exciting because you got Waddle and you got Najee, right? But man, all those linemen, bro, like I just feel like it's like we've already invested like 2 years in a row with Dieter, with Austin Jackson.
Do you think we have it? Do you think we have it? Do you think the offensive line is set and it's going to be exactly what
I just don't think it's prudent to use more capital without knowing. Because at this point, you're saying, okay, Dieter, you're done, you're trash, you're gone. That's a 3rd round pick from 2 years ago. That's a tough thing to say when you haven't really given him necessarily a fair shot. Yeah, you gave him a fair shot rookie year, but hey, that team was atrocious like all around. And in his second year, it's like
bad, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like
he's not horrible, but he's not bad.
I just think that I do agree. And the only mistake that I made was I didn't find a center. I couldn't. Once the top ones were gone, I just didn't have one.
That's what. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to do is I was trying to maybe get back up. It was either getting a center. I believe it might have been
And I may be the only one, but Landon Dickerson scares me probably even more.
I don't want Landon Dickerson.
I can't.
I get it. It's a cute story. Hey, I saw you out there, snap a ball with a torn ACL, but the other side of it is like, bro, you were on the field with a torn ACL. Like, that's like wow.
I do want to address real quick before we get off this for a second. I do want to address because all of us drafted Najee. I want to make sure Najee Harris.
Yeah.
Okay. All of us drafted Najee Harris at 18. I do not believe with 100% certainty that Najee Harris will be there at 18. I honestly don't. I think someone's going to try to snag him ahead of the Dolphins.
That's the thing. 18 is his floor, and if we know this, the NFL is like laughing at us. No,
if he's there at 18 and the Miami Dolphins do not draft him, I am literally going to break my TV.
My point of view with that is kind of like, look, who got promoted last year to be offensive coordinator? George Godsey, who was a tight ends coach, Eric Studfield, who was a running backs coach.
Yep.
If there was ever a time for you to flex your guns and be like, yo, I want my guy, take Kyle Pitts at 6, you take Najee at 18.
Yeah, you were the tight ends coach, you were the running backs coach. Here you go. Don't complain.
Shut up and leave me alone for 2 years. Literally, that's at that point.
No,
at that point, you can't say anything because it's like, okay, this draft is deep at wide receiver, and you want to get a third rounder, a fourth rounder, Dwayne Eskridge, Amari Rogers, Elijah Moore, Dimitri Felton,
Atwell.
Like you have so many options with the wide with. You see, there's
but I just think we're all on the running back train for this reason. None of us are going to be happy if they go back into the season with Myles Gaskin as running back 1.
Nah, B. I like Myles. I like Myles.
I like Myles too.
He averaged, I think, the 10th most scrimmage yards. I think it was like 98 yards.
He's a fantastic running back too.
He is exactly that. He shouldn't be running back 1. If you're relying on him as running back 1, not only are you giving yourself, but that RBBC is just it's not sustainable because at some point they're gonna key off of certain guys. You're gonna throw in there the running back, and then it's okay. Well, they're running it. Or now
but let's be honest. Okay, we do a running back by committee right now. Which one's the running guy? Which one's the one that gets you that short yardage situation? Savant?
Malcolm Brown.
But Malcolm Brown, according to Manny, who actually watches Rams games, says that Malcolm Brown is more of a shiftier guy, which if you look at his bids, he kind of is. So what are we doing?
I want to add something, and I don't know if you
listened in this
morning, Juan. You're gonna get really upset at me.
I
don't know if you listened in this morning, but since I finally decided to get Game Pass, I was looking at film, and I only looking at the games that Tua has started in. So I got past the Chargers game today while I was at work, while I had some free time, and some of the same issues that we're gonna get with this running back by committee is the same stuff that we were doing, giving Jordan Howard the ball and absolutely.
It's Cap. Sorry, Cap's drives. Here. Yeah, I love Cap. Keep going. Sorry.
Absolutely killing drives by giving Jordan Howard the ball. The second thing I have to add to this, since I am going to mention it, in a limited role, 19 was not that bad.
Pop! Told you.
No.
Told you.
I
listen.
A couple things.
When Jakeem was on the field, he was the only one that made safeties take a step back.
Limited role. In a very
fine. But when we needed him last season because nobody else was taking the top off the defense, and I get it, he wasn't catching the ball, but they still were going back there. There was not a single player on this team that could take a safety back.
But to be more specific, like I definitely
guys, I'm sorry to break up the love fest with 90, but Will Fuller's on the team now. Will Fuller's on the team.
Will Fuller's going to be fantastic.
And 19 is completely done. And let me just clear up what Kai's saying. For 4 years, Jakeem Grant, I'll say his name. For 4 years, Jakeem Grant has been the most wide open wide receiver in training camp, in mini camp, and whatever camp you want to talk about. But when the season starts and the game starts and the real bullet starts to fly, homie gets alligator arms. I don't know how to break it down any further than that.
Look, that's fine. I think he was a fantastic piece for special teams. If you use him in the right scenarios, I think he is a useful piece of the team.
He's another player. He's another player. Sorry, real quick, Kai. He's another player that kind of like what you said, Mike, about Gaskins. It's like it's not his fault we're relying on him to be RB1. It's not 19's fault that we're relying on him to be a wide receiver 3 or a wide receiver 2 when he's a wide receiver 5 at that.
That's what I was saying. At a limited role, like I think the disrespect needs to stay. He can't catch. But in the role that he was in those limited games, while you still had press and you still had these guys, he was like, and you could see certain plays in the like some of the drives against the Chargers where he was one of those safety blankets that I think he was actually catching the ball and Tua was actually getting it. Like, Tua was getting it to him. Of course, when he got to it, it became worse. But just mentioning it because I wanted to mention that since I actually was sitting down and watching more film. One of the things is, again, that running back by committee is the same crap that continued to happen where we were sitting there going out there and giving our running back by committee a shot, and we were going out there and we were doing.
No, hold on. I'm gonna address this. No, I do actually want to talk about this one in a second. Finish your thought, and then I'll.
It's that we were going out there and stalling the drive with our running back by committee consistently, whether it was Jordan Howard, whether it was Myles Gaskin, and you can go in and they have the stat log with their like in-game pass and everything, and it's stalling our offense. Now you can argue maybe the time that you're calling the plays, but a lot of that running back by committee crap last year was stalling the offense because you didn't even have a running back that could actually be in a running back by committee system.
Look, Finstock.
Yeah, no, this is hold on.
We're gonna talk about
because this is the thing that people have brought up a lot, right? They bring up, the last Super Bowl champions didn't have
Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady,
Ronald
Brady.
Ronald Jones was a dominant running back for the Buccaneers all season until he got injured. And Leonard Fournette had one of the best playoffs as a running back that's had.
Come on,
but this is what I'm saying. But that's the quarterback right there. When you have an elite quarterback, when you have a guy who is top 3 to 5 at the position in your league, and you've got a good amount of assets around him, you got some fantastic wide receivers. You can throw whoever the hell you want at running back.
Yeah, go run an RBBC for sure.
The Dolphins do not have any of that right now. So I'm not arguing that point. If Tua next season becomes a top 5 quarterback. Running back committee doesn't matter. None of it matters. But until that happens, you need to help him out as much as you can.
So let me just break it down for Finstock since he's not understanding it. When you have Derrick Henry, you have 8 in the box. 90% of the game. When you have Myles Gaskins in there, you're not having 8 in the box. Now you're having extra DB out there. Now you're having extra coverage. Now you're getting blitz. Now you're dealing with more stuff that Ryan Tannehill doesn't have to deal with because he has Derrick Henry.
And look, Gaskin missed last year, and like just the games that I've been watching, all of our running backs were missing block after.
Yeah, Ahmed struggled a lot with
Ahmed. Ahmed had a specific one. I remember if it was the Cardinals or something else where there was a
cornerback
coming off the edge. Yeah, there was a cornerback coming off the edge. My dude just straight whiffed. Like he looked like he needed glasses and was in a whole other dimension on that one. You saw Ryan Tannehill as a Dolphin struggle for years, other than when he had a solid running game in Jay Ajayi. Then he goes to Tennessee.
He rode up till his knees gave out.
Yep. Then he had another solid running game in Tennessee with Derrick Henry, and look at him. Yep. Look at the difference having the running back makes.
Was good. I want to add. Like,
Tannehill was good. Tannehill was good, but I am sorry to say that Tannehill would have had that season regardless of running back is ridiculous.
Oh, no. Yeah, no. It's ridiculous.
The running back is what helped make that. It opened up the play action.
Yeah, and the role in the system that they had Tannehill was good. Also, I think the only horrible play that you can look at from Ryan Tannehill all year just so happens to be the play that lost them in the playoffs, throwing the interception to Marcus Peters. But besides that, he was a pretty good quarterback in the NFL.
And this is the thing too. I'm also not asking. I don't think any of us is asking for a bell cow. I'm not asking for a guy that's going to be the only running back that we can put out there that's any good.
Christian McCaffrey, because
Najee's going to get 22 touches. He's going to get 15 carries, seven catches a game.
Sure, but to me, a bell cow is when you don't. But to me, a bell cow is when I guess technically that's what. But I'm thinking you don't have any other options at running back. When it's literally that guy and the drop off to the next one is crazy. When Myles Gaskin comes in, I have faith in what he can do. I have faith in his ability to catch the ball.
That's thunder and lightning. That's thunder and lightning right there.
You get the ball a decent amount.
You can play that with Najee. You can throw Ahmed in there.
Exactly. I just want a running back that can make something happen. I want a running back that can get you a 15 to 20 yard run more than once every 9 to 10 games.
I like and this is like more of a specific play, but there was a play literally in a national championship. Najee must have ran like 15 yards to gain like 4.
And it was big too. It's not like he's just a speedy back. He's a big guy. My favorite
6'1".
When he caught the ball, I'm dumb. When he caught the ball at one point and they smacked him immediately. he was still able to catch the ball, and I think he got maybe like 1 yard out of it, but the hit was like
That happens to
violent.
Gaskin, and that's a fumble.
Yeah.
If Gaskin catches it, you remember that one play where Gaskin was ahead of the first down and Tua gave him the little dump off and was like, bloop.
And I can't lie, Najee kind of sold me today with his interview. Like the guy has spunk. He has personality. They asked him, "Hey, what would man?" I don't know about that interview. I don't even want to go into that. They asked Najee. They said, "Hey, what's your favorite way to get through a defender? Would you rather juke them and kind of move around them? Would you rather run them over? Would you rather hurdle them?" And you know what he said? He said, "I'd rather have whatever answer." He's just like, I'm prepared for anything. He's like, I don't want to be hurdling over people, but hey, if you're gonna go for my ankles, I'm gonna hurdle.
And listen,
hey,
I'm gonna be honest too. As a fan of Madden as well, if I can get a running back that is gonna be above an 80 in about a year, I'm gonna really enjoy that.
Know that those over 80 running backs sometimes they suck a lot in Madden.
That's fine. I'll adjust his stats and make him faster than he is in the game. It's fine. Now, and to address Fizzlock, the Gaskin score in Oakland, that was fantastic. Name me one other time he did that.
Dude, I love Mac Hollins.
No, but name me one other time that Miles Gaskin he had one other run.
So I don't want to. We're not. By the way, we're not trashing Miles Gaskins. That's not. I'm not a huge fan. What we're doing here is we're just being honest with the limitations that he has as far as a player. Yes, he can turn out 3, 4, 5 yards, but is he gonna bust that second tackle, make a miss, and then hit it for 30, 40? Nah. That's not his game. He's not that explosive. He's not that, he had a couple games where he was moving, like the Jets game. I'll give him that. But it was against the Jets. Like who cares? But no, to be serious though. He's a good guy. He's a good player that you can find a role for, but he's not a guy that I'm going to be featuring on my offense for, like I said, 22 to 25 touches. To
me, Miles Gaskin reminds me a lot of Damian Williams. That second running back, he doesn't play as hard as Damian Williams did. Like Damian Williams was a little bit better at, breaking the tackle. He played a little bit more stout. But Miles Gaskin to me is just a great running back too. And it's just having him as a running back 1 is frustrating because when you need that guaranteed 2 to 3 yards, those 3 to 4, and you don't want to start out 2nd and 10 because your first run got you 0, that's where I understand.
So my thing with that whole theory with the running back and not drafting him in the first round, it's weird to me, right? Because you always want to say that you don't want to get into a second contract with a running back, but if you draft them in the first round, you're getting 4 years and an option. So it's like, what do we?
And it's running back, so you can just go find another one too.
And then if worse comes to worse, if after that 5th year you still want to keep him for another year, you can franchise him. Like
running back shelf life is very short.
Yeah, so, and you can guarantee yourself if you draft one in the first round for 6 years, and at that point it's like who cares? Like you probably literally wrung him out to his last bit of juice, and then there's nothing really left after that.
And to this question, and we can do a running back breakdown. There are other running backs out there. We talked about the one today. Obviously, the UNC running backs both come to mind, especially in South Florida after I don't want to talk about it. So. There's just a lot of running backs out there that the Dolphins can get. Are they all great? Not necessarily, but I just think to me, Najee Harris is just so far above. Like Najee Harris is just like, I don't know. It just looks different. I got called out for this before. Sure, it's not generational, but I think he's the best running back prospect to come out in a while. I think Najee Harris is a better running back prospect than all the running back guys that came out last year, and last year had a really good group of backs.
I would say, and I would venture to say that he's probably a better prospect than than Derrick Henry.
Oh, yeah, sure. But then you say that, and immediately people people watch.
I love Derrick Henry, but Derrick Henry did not have the hands that Najee did coming out.
In my head, I immediately watched the Derrick Henry pushing off. Josh Norman.
He's an animal.
That immediately played in my head, and I'm like, ooh, I don't know.
He's an animal.
Anyways, let's get into. We wanted to talk about we wanted to do another mock draft now because last week when we did it, we were still sitting at 3. Now we're
last week. I think we did it like 2 months ago.
No, we did one. Oh no, that was sorry.
Yeah, when we did it live on the show, we did it like 2 months ago.
We used your replacement in Lewis. Wait, this is awkward.
Oops.
Sorry.
Oops.
I was literally about to pull myself off the screen, bro.
Anyways, so we want to get a mock.
Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle.
Kai.
Jalen Waddle.
What?
Oh,
What are you crying
what is-
for?
What
Jalen
is
Waddle.
that draft? You're telling me now I have to pick between Jamar Chase and Cal Pitts?
Oh, no shot.
Dude,
Time
I've
out.
had this open for a long time. By the
Time
way. I
out.
haven't
Okay, hold
raced- this has been open.
Let me chime in on this one as the apparent Kyle Pitts hater, right? Because you guys, that's what you guys
Go
make me
ahead.
out to be. Kyle
so.
Pitts and Jamar Chase. If my choice between the two, I'm going Kyle Pitts, no doubt.
What?
No doubt. No doubt.
Okay. Because I think there's some slander here going on.
No,
You're-
Jamar Chase. No, Jamar
Okay,
Chase.
so-
Jamar Chase
so-
isn't even my wide receiver one.
So,
Woo!
Michael,
Woo!
Kai, I'm gonna need you to chill out right now. We gotta talk right now. What's going, Mike?
Why do
What's
we keep
going on,
full
bro?
screening? What are we doing? I don't like the full screen. It's weird. I
Michael,
don't know what I'm
what's
talking to.
what's going on? Who's your wide receiver one? I gotta know.
Is J Dub? Is
Jalen Waddle?
Yeah,
Wait,
absolutely.
Jalen Waddle?
Yep,
Wait,
J-Dub.
wait.
Mike. All right,
J-Dub.
all right.
It's J-Dub.
I like Waddle, but he hasn't
It's
produced,
J-Dub.
bro.
Is J Dub? Watch it in the NFL. I'm calling right now.
Okay, let's pick. I'm tired of this.
It's Pitts. If we're talking about Pitts and Chase, it's Pitts.
Juan, you know it's Pitts too, man.
Jamar Chase was ran a 4.38.
Jamar Chase isn't even gonna be there, bro.
Listen, I'm making the decision.
I know he's not. I know he's not.
Oh
but
my
he's
goodness.
here.
¿Qué pasó? No,
Goes
reject.
fast.
No,
Yeah.
reject. No, reject.
So
Get
all
me
right,
my guy.
Do you
Get
guys
me
want
my
to do
guy.
it? Let's do an experiment though.
Get
'cause-
me my guy.
'cause I think it was Raging Dolphins Maniac. I think one of them said he would want an edge, and I just don't see an edge that's worth an 18.
No,
In
not
any,
18.
is there any scenario where we would say
If
no
Najee,
to Najee for somebody else? Like who's available right now that we would potentially think about instead of Najee?
J Dub. Listen. First of all, you with your
Go to
DW, you all right? So let's chill.
I
Okay?
have all these nicknames.
We're doing
I make
nicknames.
them up.
19, and I came up with one. J Dub.
I hope Jalen Waddle comes here. They
I
cut
don't-
19.
I'm not taking-
and he
I'm not-
takes 19.
I'm
That's
not
what I
taking
hope for
Quiddy
you.
Pay. I'm not taking Quiddy Pay over Najee Harris.
I'm
If
not
Najee
taking
Harris
that
is
either.
gone,
Either.
I
What
would
about Joke?
take Quiddy Pay.
What
but
about Joke?
no. Guinness
Joke
joke.
is interesting. Jeremiah, I don't even want to just joke.
Nah. Not over Najee.
The thing is, like, I want to.
Who's on defense?
Do I want to center that bad? No.
No, we're not doing.
JC Horn? Nah.
David Collins, but like,
Zaven Collins, I think, could be the pick at 18 if Najee is gone.
but that's the thing. That's why I'm a fan of that trading up and getting another first, because you can go out there and do what you want to do. It's just going to be hard. Like,
I know.
I just don't.
Look.
I don't think this is the draft you want to be trading up.
We're
if I'm
talking. If
completely
what are
honest.
we doing? It's Najee. Get out. Get it out of here.
I was just trying
Send
to do
it
it for
in.
the people. I was
No.
trying to do it
so
for the
in this,
people, bro.
in this
My bad.
scenario, do we want to? Oh, never mind. You said no trade ups. I was like, we could try to finesse a trade up, maybe to one of these lower teams, and like try to see what we could do. But all right. So we're going with Najee. All right, Justin and Finns are gonna hate us, but it's okay. It is what it is. Oh, I hate my life. If you see what I see, I hate
Niet.
my life. I'm not.
Niet.
I'm not taking that.
No.
Damn,
What do you mean?
you
You're
would
going
have to
down
see.
3.
You would have to
Oh,
see
wait.
Tony twice a year.
Jeez.
Dude, you
I'm
saw-
fine with that.
Now you saw it. Now you saw. What
I'm
I
fine
hate,
with
right?
that. Yo, what a reach.
Damn,
Garbage.
Creed went in the first. That's interesting.
Dude, that's such a great. Oh, that's such a great fit. It makes me so mad.
All right, who are the Dolphins taking? I
It's such
listen.
an- oh, God.
I will be on. I like Richie Grant. I think Richie Grant's a pretty good safety. I think he could do some of the things that
Baron
Bobby was
Browning?
doing. Baron Browning
Nah.
also,
Here's-
but
Nah,
at this
I
point,
would-
Here's my thing. Wait. Here's my thing. Hear me out on this. We're
I would
going
take
down
that.
3 and we're
Oh.
giving up 258. We're getting a third. Like, I don't understand.
we're getting a third for next year.
All right.
All right, I mean that's fine. Take it.
All right. Cool. As long as we're on the same page.
Now you
Yeah.
lost as Jalen Phillips. You
I
suck.
don't care. If I
Yeah,
if
I
I
wanna-
want
I know. I'm joking. I'm not really that sold on him.
I want a wide receiver here, to be honest.
Oh yeah,
You
because we
wanna
took a
take it?
tight end, right?
so dude. After that interview, I don't even. If Rondell Moore is a Miami Dolphin, I'm gonna hate myself forever.
Wait, but the Dolphins pick again at 50, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, I'm fine with waiting on wide receiver because I think you
So
can
let's
get
go- so
Elijah
let's-
Moore at 50.
So we either go center or we go defense.
Listen, I think we should go Browning, and we didn't give the chat what they wanted with an edge. I think we should give chat what they want with the linebacker.
I mean, that's fine. I just think you have a lot of linebackers at that point.
But like,
no, that's fine. Take Browning.
Because you re-signed a Landon.
Mm-hmm.
You got McKinney.
Yeah. I personally, I
think a safety is more of a need, but I would love to get a Baron Browning.
But here, yeah, let's go Browning. Chat's asking Browning. We'll go Browning.
Juan, you agree?
I don't think I'm actually that high on Browning. I think I've had a couple too many Ohio State linebackers just kind of be decent, nothing crazy.
Is that Baker slander?
He's a good linebacker. That was more for Raekwon though.
Yeah.
Hey, Raekwon was solid too, though. Raekwon was a thumper. They wanted him for pass coverage, and that's not his thing.
Wait till we expose him on that New England defense next year.
All right, so we're going Browning.
All right.
Give the chat what they want. Oh, Elijah Moore is gone. And but Terrace Marshall is there.
Oh my god.
He wanted Elijah
Moore. Nothing. So bro, he's from the crib, bro. He does one-handed catches. I'm sick of this. I don't want to see two-handed catches this year. Oh my god.
Question from the chat from earlier with ETN because he was available a little bit ago. You know, is that being available change your mind on the Najee pick? Not really. Like I love Travis Etienne, but I think what Travis Etienne did last year in staying ruined his stock more than it did anything else. He would have been a first-round pick last year.
I think the Dolphins probably would have ended up drafting a running back much higher.
I think Etienne's gonna end up going to like a decent team in the second round and probably being the best running back out of the first 2 years. Just because I feel like the last year and a half he's kind of started to put on a lot more weight to kind of fill the running back role and to prove he's durable, and that's kind of hurt him and kind of taken away his explosion. With, by the way, he's still explosive, but I think you give him a year to kind of settle into his proper way. I see Alvin Kamara all over the dude, bro. Like that guy is insane to me.
Real quick though, you guys know what Terrace Marshall ran as a 40 time?
4.38.
4.38.
Yeah, it seems like all of LSU ran 4.38.
I ran a 4.38 at LSU as an LSU.
I benched 23 times. No, I don't want Terrace Marshall. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't want Terrace Marshall.
There are the reports.
Okay, you know what?
Are interested in corner? Do you take?
I would go. Nah, just because if you're Asante Samuel, I'm thinking more so of him as being like a slot. And you know, we just signed Justin Coleman. We have superstar still.
Yeah, Justin Coleman was a 1-year contract, and we've all said
we got superstar. We got superstar.
You call him superstar. He ain't my superstar. Like it's not my thing. Listen, you know what?
Etienne?
I think.
No, I think it's talking about Marshall.
One of them. Finn's doc, if you could clarify that. Oh yeah, he was
talking
Etienne.
Oh, Etienne. Okay, you know what? Fine. I was on board for Marshall. You wanted a wide receiver. You say no, then you pick everything. Kyle's Pitts.
Go to defense.
Going to defense.
Okay, Kyle's Pitts. I'm gonna change your contact name in my phone to that.
I'm just ignoring you.
No, you're not, because you answered me.
I don't think that this is like the greatest. Like,
I'm not liking that defense.
For what is available, you get me?
Go to the OC centers.
Are you gonna take Myers right now? You're not gonna take Quentin Miners right now either. Like, you know, you're not gonna take Quentin Miners right now. You're not Landon Dickerson. The dude is never healthy. You're not gonna.
Who are the tackles right now?
Tackles. Dylan Radins.
That's about the only name that I would probably go with.
Radins is pretty good, but the rest are not so much.
CK has mentioned though that Radins would probably not fit in with what the new offense is going to be. So that's kind of another.
It's true.
Stain on what it like right now.
I mean, Juan's really holding us up here, huh?
I just don't want Terrace Marshall.
I think at 50 right now, it's not. We just don't have great options.
Just go to the wide receivers. Who's another wide receiver besides Terrace Marshall?
Rondale Moore. I'm on Ross St. Brown. Amari Rodgers. Tylan Wallace.
I've had a man crush since I saw he weighed 211 pounds in Amari Rodgers. You tell me that I can have him here and he's gonna man my slot. I mean, I don't think I'm complaining.
You want to take Amari Rodgers right now?
I'll take players whatever I see fit. Yes, I'm not gonna go and say
You know what?
agree with that.
Can we just call this Juan's draft from now on then?
You know what?
I didn't
did
want
it.
Baron Browning. Absolutely not. Don't put that on me.
It's been
Hey,
done.
you wanted
No.
Kyle Pitts over Jamar Chase.
No, hey,
It's been done. All right. Anyways, these trade offers.
Uh,
Drop down 9, 134. Drop down 13. Get rid of 231, which is not going to matter anyways, and then get a 4th next year.
I say no to KC. I'm still thinking the Vikings one. I might take that, but it depends on the board.
Hey, listen, Juan's pick good. Depends on the board. So let's look at all. This is what we're currently standing with on the all
Man,
point of view.
The thing is,
I'm-
Dwayne Eskridge is still there. I like Dwayne Eskridge. You know what?
Well,
I'd trade down and try to pick up Miners.
or just
it's
take
gonna-
Miners,
you
bro.
think
If
he's
if
gonna- I
that's
don't-
your
I don't think
guy,
he's gonna be there at 90.
Okay, then
Take
just
your
take
guy.
him down. I love
Agreed.
Quinn Miners. Listen, that belly sold me.
so he would be our center, though. I'm just right.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends on how. I still think what's his name can be a decent center. The guy we just signed.
Skura.
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 I think Skura will be fine if he learns to snap. I think he learns to snap. The dude can block well. It's just the snap
That's-
thing is important. I get
that's
it, but
saying, that's saying something for a center in the NFL.
The most important part of the job.
Hey, it's like, hey, I know you want to play professional basketball, but I think if you can get your shot down, you might be able to get.
no, it's different. It's like a dribble. It's like if you can
Okay,
get the dribble
true.
down.
True,
I'm thinking, like,
true.
At this point, I'm thinking like the top guys you could probably go after, like in terms of what we haven't got that we could go after, is like maybe like a Shaka Tony, Marvin Wilson type of deal.
So the thing with Marvin Wilson is I think our interior defensive line is already really clogged up.
You very clogged.
Yeah.
You know, Adam Butler, Christian Wilkins, Raekwon Davis, the other guy, English.
Who's a receiver? I'm all about doubling up today.
Shy Smith,
Hey, Sage Surratt. Sage Surratt is dope.
Trayvon.
Garbage.
Cornell Powell. Listen, Cornell Powell is another name that might be interesting to hear.
From Clemson. Cornell Powell, he says. Listen, dude, I don't know anything about Cornell Powell. I gotta be honest.
I know Sage Surratt is really good.
So do we
Not
wanna
like
double
out
up?
of this world, but I
Let's
mean, what
ask
if
chat decide this. Chat.
so then give him the
first
whole
thing-
board. Yeah.
First thing I see is what we're picking: Shaka Tony, Marvin Wilson, or Sage Surratt.
You're absolutely not going to double up on running back because if they take Najee, they already signed a bunch of guys. Well, they already signed Brown and they have a bunch of other guys. This is a tough one.
It is. I feel like 50 and right now at 156 are the ones that are kind of a little difficult. But
What's
whichever
on-
chat says,
what's on
Sage
defense?
Surratt, on defense right now, it's not much. Like that's the thing right now.
DeMar Hamlin, I think, is supposed to be pretty good out of Pittsburgh.
Let's read some of the positives here. Nice size safety with great instincts and feel for the game. Plays smart football, proper angles. Let's look at the negatives. Lacks an explosive burst of the ball. Comes out of his plane is usually half step late in coverage. Comes with average play speed.
I mean, again, we're talking about what are we in the 5th round?
Yes.
Okay. Well, here Juan's not here. Let's make a pick and run with it. Go back to all. Let's just take one without him.
All right.
Shoot, this is tough. Hey, the guy I mentioned. Look at that 156, Tommy. My boy Tommy Doyle out of Miami,
That's what
Ohio.
you wanna go with?
I
No.
really thought you made up that name.
I thought you made that name as well. To be honest with you.
I was
No,
like,
I'm
there's
straight
no
up-
way he
I'm
looked up
straight
a
up
name.
looking at a pro day list, and the first one that I noticed was Miami of Ohio.
Nice.
I don't have a name here.
Sorry. I had brought up something that I have to download for a moment.
It's fine. You know what? We did the draft far enough. Oh no, we're going with it. I think none of us know the names here at this point well enough. I know Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard. I don't know. His name is sounding like Chumbawamba.
Is there? By the way, Kai, now that I have you here, is there a way to see who you've actually taken so far or no?
Yeah.
The hell? I didn't even know you did that.
You click on your team, dog.
So we have Cal Pitts, Najee, Barron, Amari, Quinnen.
I think if you're taking a wide receiver that late, you should double down a wide receiver.
I
All right,
would double
good.
down a wide
So
receiver.
I'd go Sage. I'd go Surratt.
All right.
Or I would just take
Sage
Shy and
Surratt.
just replace 19, but that's just me. Hold on, I'll be right back.
You're good. You're good.
All right, what's our next pick?
Next pick, 231. You know what we're doing?
Quarterback.
Punter.
No shot, dude. Okay, I did want to talk about that. Marvin Wilson is a big body. He's a former 5-star. He is good. The motor has been in question.
Man, you were late on that. I said the first time I saw it, I was gonna pick it.
Yeah, but look, but the thing with Marvin Wilson is that he'd come into a clogged defensive tackle room, and it's not what you want to see. The Dolphins need some edge help, not more interior defensive linemen.
Anyways, punters.
No. Quarterback. Give me Ian Book. And you give me Ian Book because he worked out with Sage Rosenfels in the summer. Sage Rosenfels was on our show.
Let's see. Zach Von Rosenberg. Let's see this, guys. Do they have stats on
You're not looking up a punter right now.
Hell yeah, I am.
No one cares about punters.
He won the Ray Guy Punter of the Week versus Florida and Mississippi State. And look at that name.
Wait, you're really hyping up punter of the week? Of the week? I'm out on this mock draft, bro.
How are there no punting stats?
I'm out on this mock draft, bro. Let's just end this.
Wait, I'm asking for. Oh, there we go. Career punting stats. 2020.
I'm not drafting a punter. I'm not stamping my stamp on this. This is out of hand.
Listen,
I said we need to take.
I've just been buying time.
I'm saying we need to take Ian Book because the Sage Rosenfels.
Oh my gosh, another one. And play him where, bro? Is he going to be our practice squad quarterback?
Yeah, absolutely.
What are we gonna do at 231 right now, Juan? Okay, like
I like Paris Ford. Okay, that's a guy
give him Paris Ford then. Just that way he shuts up.
It's still not my draft.
Long episode for nada.
What was the kicker picked?
Stupid.
Oh, woo! Kickers.
Borregales, yo, dope. Out of University of Miami. All right, get this off my screen.
The Saints picked a punter.
Get this off my screen. Let's end this show.
That's our draft, everybody.
We're on a freaking punter for like 10 minutes, all because Juan decided to go out the screen and Kyle was like, I'm going to buy time talking about a punter. Our views literally tanked the moment you put up the punter, my guy. I want you to know that.
I told Big O and I told Sean today because we were talking about film and I was telling them, I was like, yeah, like I'm legitimately cutting up Michael Pilardi film and I'm going to put like really badass music behind it. Just to put it out there on Twitter. You know
that saying kickers are people too? No, they're not. They're animals.
Yeah,
and
I'm doing it as a joke, but like it's
listen, if kickers and punters aren't people, they're objects of.
Well, you know what? Screw you, man. Like,
like what?
People too.
There's a reason why what's his name retired to do a podcast.
Well, first of all, he was punter of the decade, and he was one of the best punters, if not the best punter in.
He was the best.
And then he left to do a podcast and a show. So look,
yeah, and his show is so good that ESPN said, "Nah, people can't be going on your show anymore."
Yeah, that's childish. I saw that.
Right?
That was really
listen,
childish.
The only kicker I care about right now is Jason Sanders because he did good things for the Dolphins, and then when he stops doing good things, cut him. Get out of here.
Jason Sanders is a great kicker, absolutely great kicker.
I don't even use a kicker in fantasy football, so
I would rather not have pizza if I had to take. I'd rather have kickers on my pizza than pineapple.
What? I gotta go.
Pineapple pizza.
Good, yeah, good. Thank you, Kai. Childish.
He really just said that. Like
childish. He's childish.
No shot that he legitimately just said that he will eat pineapples on his pizza.
No. I said I'd rather have kickers. I said I'd rather have kickers on my pizza.
So you guys can both boot me out. I am a pineapple lover, so go ahead.
You know what? That's how we're gonna end the show. We're an hour and 20 minutes in. We're gonna do it without Juan.
You said go ahead, and I did it. All right.
Yeah. All right. Listen, we're wrapping this thing up. Next week, we're gonna go more specifically into a lot of draft prospects, and I know Juan is watching some film on those. Correct? Juan is watching film on those. Kai, I think you're watching film on more than just some punnet. Oh, good lord. We're gonna dive into some.
I am legitimately watching other Dolphins film, and I will say shout out to Juan because I know Juan. Like, I primarily will watch Juan stuff. I watch Alfredo stuff as well, but I primarily watch Juan stuff whenever he puts out stuff, like on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. And truthfully, like, if you guys don't have Game Pass, like, I thought it was kind of just like BS. Like, yeah, you get to see things.
Oh, nah.
Like, when you break it down in slow-mo and everything, you can see things.
Yeah, coaches tape, different angles. Yeah.
Football makes a lot more sense once you get Game Pass. This past season was my first one with it. It was very good to have. But thank you guys very much for watching the show. You can follow all of us on Twitter. I am at Michael5RSN. Juan is at Exclusivity with no I's, but every other vowel. So I don't know what's going on there. And then Kai has his at right there in his name. Don't forget, Kyle Pitlove is.
Radio.
Yeah, we all have shows on Onside Radio. You can listen to Juan on Sundays from 9 to 11 a.m. You can listen to Kai every day on Onside Radio from 10 to 12. And I have game night every weekday from 6 to 7 p.m. Kyle's Pits. That's what everybody's talking about. Do they
That's
smell
all
good?
that matters.
I don't
He
know.
was shirtless. He was shirtless. He was streaming it naturally. It was fine.
All right, next week we'll also talk about some can't miss prospects for the Dolphins, which draft players you will be absolutely destroyed by if the Dolphins do not walk away with them.
Can't miss.
We will absolutely talk about all of that. It will be a lot of fun. Don't forget to listen to our shows. Don't forget to listen to 3 Yards Per Carry. That comes out tonight. You guys have a good night.